Okay then, Helldivers, we are back and there are loads to go over today as the Heart of Democracy has finally released. This thing is absolutely huge. We've got a whole new trailer which is taking us over to Super Earth. CF soldiers are making a rampant move alongside us and we've got loads of changes. We're going to be diving into all of that right now, explaining why certain suites were discontinued, and we're also going to be talking about Helldivers 2 development team breaking away from Sony PlayStation. We've got loads to get into, so if you haven't already, smash that beautiful like button, subscribe and press notifications turned on. It'd be greatly appreciated. And make sure you check out our incredible sponsor, GamerSupps, the company that offer esports athletes and gamers with the most healthy and effective energy choice option compared to those tinned alternatives that we're all used to. And using code CloudPlays at checkout right now will get you free international shipping. So anytime you are going to want to get hold of it, it's going to be now. Links in the description. Use code CloudPlays at checkout. We're also giving away some super credits. If you want to get involved with that, very simple. Head down to the comment section and put in a blue and a yellow love heart. That's all we need from you to celebrate Super Earth, and we need to keep this one under wraps. That being said, let's dive into the game and see what it is that's happening right now. Well, as you can see in the background, the new trailer has now finally launched, and this is a absolutely huge one as it brings in the Heart of Democracy, the third installment to the Helldivers franchise. After the escalation of freedom and the omens of tyranny, this one is hopefully going to be a absolutely rampant movement. But what is it that's happening? Well, the worst nightmare for all of those who fight for managed democracy has made a grim reality. Despite the valiant efforts of the Helldivers to push back the fleet, the Illuminate have reached Super Earth. Now they are swarming our cities, terrorizing citizens and destroying our infrastructure. It's time to rise up and take arms and fight for the precious foundations and soil of democracy manifest. Helldivers return to our planet and defend what is rightfully ours. Now, this is absolutely huge because we're now getting to finally fight on Super Earth. On top of that, there is seeming to be so many more details attached to this that we have got no idea how much of a big one this is going to be. Why? Because, well, we're going to be able to fight amongst massive skyscrapers, crowded streets, and our home turf is now going to be attacked big time, which means that we are going to have a few things on there you're maybe not used to and that you will have to be careful about when firing your democracy weapons. First of all, we have the CF agents. You're able to call for backup. It's all hands on deck as you encounter CF troops who will help join the fight and defend for freedom. These small squads will be fighting enemies on their own, or you can also order them to follow Helldivers to provide temporary backup as you navigate towards objectives, salute and lead them on the path to victory. So it's actually going to be a very, very cool one because you are going to be able to maneuver the CF agents that are already knocking around the street by simply saluting at them. Once you salute, they will then follow you and you can utilize them to your own need, which is quite helpful actually because we all thought this was going to be a stratagem. Lo and behold, these things are actually free of charge on Super Earth. Now, not only are we going to have to wait out and watch out for the CF agents, but we're also going to have to watch out for our citizens. We do have to protect the citizens because however all of this stuff is going on, you must also be aware that many citizens will still be roaming the streets, fearing their lives. They may be panicked, Helldivers, but it is still your sworn duty to keep them safe, and they look at you as the ultimate protectors of liberty. Remember, any civilians lost from friendly fire will be punished, so you will become a traitor in the game. They have already issued this in, and you are noticing some things when you have to save civilians inside of normal missions. But right now, there are going to be more civilians than you will ever encounter in this game. So you have to be very, very careful for this one. If you do take out too many, it will cause for quite a big issue. We're also going to be tasked with a brand new objective, which is to repel the invasion. Repelling the invasion by gaining ground over the squids as they fight to control areas where the fleet is landing. It won't be a walk in the park, Helldivers, but like a game of intergalactic tug of war, you will struggle against the incoming forces, gaining and losing control quickly. So fingers crossed this is going to be a very cool one. It's quite nice to see that we are receiving brand new mission types, and we'll see civilians and we'll see CF, and it just seems like everything's going to be made so much more alive. My biggest issue with this is that this is only going to be on Super Earth. And once we eventually save Super Earth and go back to our planets, it will feel a bit like a step back, or at least that's how I see it as. Whether that's going to be the case or not, we'll have to wait and see. But until then, the Heart of Democracy is available now, so make sure you jump on in. We're live with it as we speak. On top of that, though, there has been some posts that have gone up with regards to some things being discontinued. Yes, you may well have heard of Jellydivers, but they have been discontinued and taken off the shelves because apparently the Illuminate were interfering with them, and it was causing for some really big issues. Yeah, I know. I never even got to try them. I'm absolutely gutted. But in other news, it seems that Helldivers 2 development team Arrowhead may well be breaking away from PlayStation. Their next game will be self-funded, allegedly. Based on a comment coming from Shams Jorjani, the CEO of Arrowhead himself, he states that Game 6, their next project, will happen the way it will happen thanks to you. The next game is 100% funded by ourselves, so we'll call 100% of the shots. Now, he does go on to state that obviously PlayStation has been great with them. There would be no Helldivers if it wasn't for them, and they're open to working with them again in the future. They're an incredible game/dev orientated company, solid partners, and that isn't just them saying it, it is like it is. It's just one of those things that now they're able to actually fund it for themselves. This is absolutely huge, and for me, it's probably one of the biggest things that I've seen for Helldivers for a little while. What is going to be the next iteration of Arrowhead? We have no idea. Could it be a Helldivers 3, or could the actual Helldivers franchise be partially owned by Sony, therefore not actually expecting a Helldivers 3 from them without the link up? I have no clue at all. I'm intrigued to know what you guys are thinking, so get your tinfoil hats on, let me know in the comment section below. But it does appear that Arrowhead are breaking away from the clutches of Sony for at least their next title, but potentially working with them again in the future. I think that Arrowhead actually have quite a good chance with this. I think that realistically, they've absolutely made lightning in a bottle. Although it has been backed and funded by Sony, the main idea, of course, has definitely come from Arrowhead. So whatever their venture is for Game 6, I'm really intrigued, and I cannot wait to see. But yeah, I'm really excited to see what Arrowhead do with it without Sony in their corner. And we're going to take a look at your top comments so you guys can get to your Super Destroyers and go and start fighting for Super Earth, because let's face it, majority of you guys have already. If you haven't already left the video at this point, then make sure you hit a salute in the comment section. I appreciate every single one of you that does that. You're absolutely mental, and I love you all. But nonetheless, let's take a look at your top comments right now. This first one right here states, Arrowhead has already confirmed the war will never reset. If we lose Super Earth, we fight to get it back. Now, I haven't actually seen any confirmation of this anywhere. I may well be wrong, but I have tried looking for receipts on this one. I've tried looking for statements, but I can't see any fully confirmed movement that there will never be a reset in the game. Helldivers 1 does work on a basis of the war ends, it resets and moves from that way. We'll have to wait and see how long it could operate for, though. And if this is the case, then that's absolutely incredible. Although it does mean that obviously it will make the war a little bit more difficult having no Super Earth whatsoever. Again, we'll just have to wait and see how this one goes. Next up, it states right here, I think the argument that the area buff isn't realistic is completely moot when passives like Democracy Protects exists, where your player can survive a point-blank nuclear bomb just through the power of patriotism. So, with that in mind, a morale boost effect makes perfect sense for the HD2 environment. And that is actually very true, and I did specify that at the end of the video after that comment was made originally. I think that a morale boost could definitely work. I think that for liberty or for democracy, something could actually happen. I'm not too sure that it would work in a buffer point to a area of effect, but there could definitely be some sort of movement for maybe when the flag is being waved. I think that that could iterate a really cool move indeed. Let me know what you guys are thinking about that in the comment section below. And this next one right here states, those Illuminate strafing runs are effing me sideways. Now, there are so many ways that you can deal with those. You can use a tracking weapon such as the swarm rockets. You can also maybe even use the spear. For me, myself, I like using the airstrikes. Using those airstrikes works great because they run forward. You can see the tracking of where it's coming from, and the timers work in accordance. So have some fun with that one. But nonetheless, that's unfortunately we've got time for today. We've got to go spread some democracy, but we are live right now. So if you want to come and spread some with me, the link's in the description. I appreciate all of your faces. Thanks again for watching. And as always, up until the next time, I'll see you in the clouds.